G'day everyone, welcome to the Opal Mills. Today we've got quite a bit going on with this video, so strap in, sit down, get comfortable. Got some doublets I've been working on for a few people. So we've got some doublets I've been working on. These are my dad's up here. Tim, if you're watching, I'm onto it. Getting some doublets done for you too. So we're going to get to those, and also we're going to get to look at some parcels that have just been sent in, and we'll be cutting this video. Firstly though, I'd love to be able to draw all of your attention to Riley Gunn. He's just done on his NN Opal's channel, YouTube, the Opal Trap video. Absolutely brilliant and well explained. And I'm going to be referring to some of this throughout this video. So if you could, I'm going to put the link in the description down below. So that should be somewhere down here. You find the description, it'll come up with a link. And watch his video. It's about 10 minutes or something. And yeah, very explanatory with respects to coming into cutting opal, expectations, what to consider, and why maybe things aren't working out the way you're doing it. If you're trying to cut opal to sell it, that is. And I'm just gonna shut up about it, watch his video, and then come back watch this one for the rest of it. But yeah, here's a break moment. If you want to go quickly watch that. That way what I'm going to say is going to make sense, but I can't explain it any better than Riley has. All right, so welcome back. If you've just gone and watched that video, I hope you have. And this will all make sense from here on in. I'll try and make it make sense anyway, but it would be advantageous if you've seen Riley's video. So on with this one. With my channel, I hope I'm not setting a bad example for those not quite aware of what I am doing. So this channel is all about me and, well, not me, but what I get up to with opal. Now that goes from mining, me buying parcels, me. Buying parcels, cutting it, treating it, setting it in gold or silver, and all that. And I'm just sharing a bit of what I get up to. I've chosen my own path in this, and so as you'll have noticed, I do like carving. That's a labour of love in a way. Wouldn't probably do it if I was trying to make the big bucks. I think another highlight, if you're watching this channel, you've probably definitely seen Justin's recent Black Opal Direct video about carving, and he did a carving in there, and then he evaluates it at the end. Now the value he puts on the carving and the value he puts on his stone, he saw a $2,000 stone in that carving, therefore he values the carving at $2,000. That's fair. His dilemma in that scenario is he's in business to cut a lot of opal and sell a lot of opal. I'm not. Therefore, he needs to give the market what they want. For him to spend time to carve opal at no greater value than a cut stone, by his evaluation, then clearly you'd want to shorten the time for that same profit, so he'll cut ovals. And it would cost more money in his business to mess around setting up and carving and then trying to sell those as individual unique pieces. He's more about turnover in business. I have the luxury of just doing as I damn well please. That's the way I can only phrase it, by which I've, like a lot of you, love opal. How can I put this? I don't just cut for selling. I do a lot of this for my own collection. I'm taking advantage of something I've learnt, and I don't have to pay the big dollars for finished products because I like opal, when I can cut it myself, source it myself, and all that sort of thing. So in that respect, when I do carvings, if I was in the business, I'd have to just cut a ton of, acceptable stones, ovals usually. They'll sell quick, and then I've got a great turnover and I'm getting the business going. Now, as much as I'd like to make sales, don't get me wrong, I want to do what I'm doing. So if I take the time to carve, I do expect to get paid for that. I may not earn as much as such as if I had cut an oval, and just, time is cut then, hourly rate, you've saved money. So I have no problem, especially since I've learned how to set my own opal and everything. I can account for anything I cut if I'm prepared to set it. This is where a lot of people find that their jeweler won't touch the stones. It takes a certain kind of jeweler to want to handle opal full stop, and even a more tolerant one to set stones that aren't quite finished the way they need it, which is what Riley's point was of, if you're going to try to cut stones and sell, you need to cut what people want, therefore they will buy it. Anything less, you're going to struggle. So if I'm prepared to do what I'm prepared to do, that's fine, and I'm going to find my own little niche market as such, as I do what I do, artistically in a way, I'd like to think of it, especially when I get to set my own. And I'm not in competition with anyone in that respect. And if this sells, it sells. If not, I'm stuck with it. That's my risk. That's at my cost. So be it. I'm on board with that. A lot of you, if you're not aware that that's what I'm doing, may think I've got some huge, massive turnover and always producing all this, that I've shown on my channel. And yeah, to be honest, I do sell enough, but I do keep a fair bit too. Probably a bad habit if I was in business. As much as I am in business to sell some of it and do some really nice pieces and want to put myself out there, I prefer selling a stone before I set it, for starters, because once I set it, I need you to like the stone and the setting, which is twofold. Whereas I could say, oh, well, if you like the stone, let me know what kind of setting, and then you like the stone and the setting then. So there's a different way I'm going about this. I have started working with gold, so if I decide I want to start making big money, I'll just start working with more gold. And as far as the opal goes, it'll sell to the right person. I'm not trying to flog this off at a corner store to anyone that will give me the time of day. I think opal speaks to the person. You'll either like it or you won't. There's no point me trying to sell it to you. It should sell itself, and then we can work on a setting or something. That's where I'd come into it. But other than that, the opal's the opal, and you will like it or you won't. So I hope I've cleared a bit of that up, a bit of a long-winded way, as to what I'm up to as opposed to what some of you may be trying to do. I'm doing this channel as well to encourage people coming into this. So not only are we learning to cut and polish, if you want to take the next steps, that's where you start going, well, I've learnt the cutting and polishing process, and you can cut and polish any shape really. But now let's figure about the shapes, if that's what you want to go that route, and try and make your market. Again, if you're like me, it's going to be at your own cost and your own risk. You'll either succeed or you won't, but you can wear it like I can. I'm not going to go without because of what I'm doing. So anyway, we'll get on with this and probably try and do some justice with some of these stones with correct shapes. Like that'd be a nice drop shape. That will probably be oval, maybe a drop or a circle, and so forth. And we'll just, for this video, I'll try and maximize by cut all these stones. But first, we'll have a look at all these wet anyway, and what's in these parcels, and see what we're going to be facing for this video. Okay, so we'll start up this end. So that's what we've got. It's got some nice colour in it. How it'll turn out in the face, we'll find out. It's got a bit of sand and it'll have to be trimmed in. I'm thinking this one actually could be a nice cushion cut. We'll see how we go. Hopefully that blue will stand out a lot more. And over here we've should get some nice colour in there. Take that skin off, that should get a lot more colourful. And this one, if you remember from a few videos ago when I actually tried starting to clean these up, and this one I decided because of that I'm going to make it to a doublet. So a lot of nice colour in there, hopefully translates. Taking that skin down a bit. Okay, Tim. So here we go. It's got a nice colour bar, jelly, light colour bar running through that one. I'm more hoping, because there was no real stone to cut from it, that some of that colour there will be under all this. And this one's going to be really nice. Little, but nice. It's going to be some, again, nice bright, colourful piece. That one's going to be really beautiful. Already is. And this one, it's got a stripe of colour through the guts of it. Bit of a clearish potch either side. Yeah, nice striking little stone. And Dad, finally getting around to finishing these ones off for you. Where are we? Here's what it is. And we did a bit of shell. That sort of started cleaning it up, but because of its shape, being curved, it wasn't going to be really a stone in it. It's a bit thin. So I just chopped it with a lot of resin. And I'll figure out how to cut it into something. But there's some really fantastic colour in there, didn't want to waste it. So I'll grab some scissors and we'll get into these parcels too. Okay, so we'll just have a quick squiz of this. Okay, it's a zoom in job here. So what we've got is quite a bright piece. Gorgeous colour. Ooh, haven't got our light on. That looks better. Check that colour out. Whoa, that pink purple in there. That's gorgeous. Hopefully that's got some clarity in the centre there and we'll get a really nice stone out of that one. What have we got here? Not sure where the stone's going to be in that. Might get a little something out of there, might have to be a carving. I think that's the main. Right, let's get this next one open. Cool. Wow, it's got some really nice colour in it. That's the back left. That's some gorgeous crystal there. Absolutely gorgeous. See what we can do with that. What I'll do is I'll just unwrap all these and come back. Alright, so we've got a bit here to get through, and I might leave some of them in the bags and just pick out the ones that are more show worthy. So over here we have a note just for the tidy up on these. Zoom in. It's a really nice colour in that one. Oh, we've done it with the light again, hang on. There we go. So that one's got a touch of sand in the face, but it's got a bit of a nice bar thickness. We should be able to tidy that up into a really nice gem. Again, a bit of sand in the face. Very thin bar though, so that might is what it is type stone. Yeah, it should be able to sort that one out too. Very nice. I had a look at that one already, but I just want to have a look at it again. Gosh, that's got some really nice colour in it. Colour on colour, patterns on patterns, broad flash, pin fire. Bit of chuff down in this corner. Right there. Oops. Look at that, it's almost script. That one's got a lot going on in it. So yeah. Now, I like this one. Gift for me maybe. Might be able to tidy that up as a little carving. Got some really nice colour in it. Little drop pendant. Thank you very much. Bit of white opal, maybe a teardrop. Some not shore stones. So I think I'll just make what I can of these. Yeah, see what we can do. So sometimes I'm asked or suggested that other things could have been done, or why was it set silver or gold, or sometimes just questions about my decisions making. Sometimes I'm not in control. So this one's going to go into a, regardless of people's preference on gold and whatnot, this person would like me to set this in silver. So this has got a prearranged destination. So we'll be sticking with the bounds of the request, and that will go into a silver ring. So I might just pick a couple of the stones out of this new parcel to go along with the doublet so we can get something cut for this video. And I'll also explain, I suppose, what Riley was sort of getting at with, if you want to have some stones that are going to be marketable, we'll do that with these. Not that I probably wouldn't have anyway, because these are somebody else's. I've got to cut to specifications and do well by them. So I won't just do what I want with these ones. However, I will be able to explain, therefore, why I finish them a certain way as opposed to another way, as in the size of the dome and what it allows for, and how much is needed to make sure there's a decent back and solidarity to the body of the stone without getting it too thin, too wide. It could be 1 mil by 3 mil, and that's pretty structural. But if you go 1 mil by 6 mil, 10 mil, it's just a thin, flat. Probably better off doubleting it. And even at 1 mil by 3 mil, would still want to have really bright colour to withstand the title, I'm a stone. So anyway, I'll pick some of these out, we'll get them in the mix, and then we'll go clean up these doublets and get them ready. I might actually just tidy up these around the sides. I won't touch the top yet. I'll bring you in on that and we can have a look at that together as to how, if at all, these turn out. So I'll go get that set up and come back. Alright, so I'm going to start with these two and see what they look like under here. He's hoping. We will need to take it down really low. Camera. To get that colour showing. It's got a bit of grey mistiness to it. Right down close to the base though, that's where the good colour is. Not through it really, but yeah. Ready for a dop stick. This one. Get rid of this chip flake here. Well, maybe not. Yep, just lost our light. Camera's getting hot. It's a hot day. It's taking me a while to get to this due to the heat. Camera keeps overheating. Well, that was a bit of a nightmare. Had a couple of hot days here in Adelaide, so between me and the camera lasting about 15-20 minutes, overheating. It's just taken ages to do. Couple of days. Beautiful. So this is what we have and what we couldn't see due to the light disappearing on me. This one didn't have quite as much colour in it. It looked better from around the outside. Seems to have a bit of a misty streak through the middle. There's still some colour there and we'll do something with it. Idea is to maximise the cut by cutting an appropriate shape, very easily set. Same as this one. This one's come out quite nice. That'll be a nice oval. In there a bit. I think we've seen these ones before. These Dad's. A bit of sand in the face of that one may end up staying there. We'll see what happens. It's a nice bit of red through it. Alright, these three here, along with these first two. Tim, if you're watching, still. So these ones have come up nice. Fantastic. And these three. This one's gonna have some really nice color all the way blue this side. I like that blue. That's why I say really nice color. I like it. So there's that and that. Be a nice little pendant. And we'll see what happens with these. Some nice colour in there on the right angle. Dim spot. I had a lot of sand in there, had to come down. Again, nice colour. Hopefully this grey will go a bit, if we get down on the black a bit closer. So it might not have a super high dome in the end. And out of the parcel that we opened, I cleaned up these two so far. So let's see what we can do with those. And this one will be the cushion cut. Hopefully that colour comes out more. Trying to chase that out. It should come out when they're rolling over. And a bit of shell. Didn't come out too bad. So we'll head over to the wheel and start shaping them up. Alright. Yes, I know this isn't my wacky wheel, but my wacky wheel's not going anywhere. We'll get there. Firstly, I just thought Ariel has dropped a comment asking about is there a certain way to cut ovals? A set certain way. When competition or very, very high caliber cuts where it's going to get expensive, there actually is a sort of a standard, this is not it, I suppose template could be one way of putting it. In competitions I've seen they'll have a bit of cardboard, let's draw this, bit of cardboard, and it will have like the perfect shape of what they're after for whatever class of that stone is, size wise. That'll be one way, and then you know if that's the long way, you'd have the short way, something like that, and they'd sit that over your stone. See how close a fit your curves are. I don't have the what would you call it, specifications on me at all. I can look this up, but it'll take me a while to put something together, so maybe an upcoming video. But there is an actual way to cut the perfect oval by width and height. You know, there's that, I don't know if it's the golden rule, the golden ratio applied somehow, but there's the most appeasing oval. And yeah, they've got, obviously for this height, it has to be therefore that wide. Therefore your curves should start here, go there. You know, everything's specification. They could 3D scan it, sort of, probably these days, to judge it at a higher class. But I know that this method did exist for competitions and that, just for calibrated ovals. When everyone can cut ovals, you know, everyone's a master and you're in a competition with them. It's the perfection that counts. So there is, but we're not going to pay attention to that. I don't really subscribe to that because I don't have any opal worth doing that to yet, and anyone waiting to pay for me putting the time in to figure all that out yet. So I'll get there one day, maybe. Meantime, not to scale, this can be any size stone, but this would be sort of an ideal for me oval shape. Now that's looking through the side of an oval as opposed to this one afterwards, which is the lengthways. So if you had an opal, for example, you'll be looking that way at it, and the bottom view will be that way. So looking at it that way, this one has a flat bottom, which would be stopping at this line here. I've sort of done a bit of a light line under there to contour it, because some people leave theirs slightly domed on the bottom, and the jeweler caters for that if that's what they're used to setting it that way. I prefer the flat back, unless I'm double siding it. How can you put it? The ratios of here, I'm going to mess these up now. What I've done is put little lugs out to show that curve from there to there, if your stone was that small. That'd be your dome, if that's what allows. But then the width and length of your stone, you'd have to cut it down to make these ovals. This is where sacrifice comes into the opal, which demands the higher price for the ovals cut because of the waste. I prefer not the waste, but if it allows for an oval and a dome, I'll do it. So any stage of this, from here to here, or anywhere in between, it really depends on how thick's your color bar. Some color bars are wispy, and so you probably end up with more of a flat cab than a dome. But even here, if we decided, that's all we've got, we terminate it there, or so forth. So there is a sort of a ratio of how much back you want to how much top on a nice dome, if the opal allows. Not all opal will do this. Some just has to be flat faced and polished, or a very slight, very low dome. But a nice dome on it would look something like that from the sides, and well, from the end, and this from the side. And again, if you terminated it there, oops, that was a bit rough feel. Something like that anyway. So, and that would be your stone, or the lowish dome. The bigger your stone, or the thicker your stone, sorry, the more of a dome you get to have. And there is an appeasing shape, and it's always just getting a nice contour all the way to the middle, and then try and matching that contour in mirror that way. Same again that way, and that way, making sure your oval is definitely an oval first, which helps to go and cut to the chase. Grab one of these and just go, right, beautiful oval. So if you get your oval shape straight, once you cut this with that shape retained, everything will look very ovally, very nice, very well finished. And I cut to what the bar allows. Sometimes, so the bar could be thin on top. Say you want at least 2.5 to 3 mil minimal on a stone, maximum 4, depending on how thick the color bar is. If it's a 5 mil thick color bar, cut it. But then again, it depends. If it's only small, you don't want to be cutting a big high like that sort of thing. You'd want it to, at that size or width, you wouldn't want it much bigger than that. You wouldn't want this huge thing, but then again, depends what it calls for on the setting. You've got to judge how much color bar you've got. Obviously, the thicker it is, the easier it is to therefore get a dome. But even if it's a 3 mil thick color bar with a 1 mil potch back, if you've got a big broad stone, even for a 3 mil bar, the broader it is, the less of a dome it's going to be. I hope you're following. That's the best I can explain that. So I try and get an appeasing shape, aesthetically pleasing, if you will, and that's what I go for. So symmetry counts, balance, making sure your stone's mirror image ones if you split down the middle, ovals and circles that is. That'll all change for cushion cut squares or triangular freeform. But even they have their symmetry and center points and high where you want to finish it and how you want to finish it. And that probably getting a bit technical for what you want, but for this video, it's actually probably going to count because we are going to finish these best we can just to show, even though the stone is what it is and it's a doublet, it can still be worth more with a really nice cut. That will count rather than just going, oh, let's finish them up freeform and I'll set them, don't worry about it. Let's put some good effort into this. Okay, I won't go through all these. I'll show flashes of the others, but this one will be the one we follow, just to at least show one's progress throughout this whole thing. It'd be too much footage for otherwise. So anyway, that's a guide I'm not going to use. I didn't like the way that I couldn't get a bigger oval and there's a bit of colour missing. The waist. It'll be roughly that though. But yeah, we'll follow this one being cut and then finish the back and the reasoning. And with these wheels, I use the outside when I want to grind reasonably quick because of the way the meters per minute works out of there and into there is a bit slower. So depending on how much and what I'm grinding depends on how close to the middle I get and how slow I want to go. Distracting me. Okay, so now we've got our black line. It'll be out there, so that'll be our high point. We won't come anywhere near that. We'll have to watch the height as we bring it down. We've got to watch. It's probably going to set the standard for it, or I have to take it in more to get rid of that. We'll see how we go. Bring it down like that. You see the space there. If that matches there, then we might be in luck. Which we do. I'm flattening the top because I need this flat bit in the centre more. So that'll be the high point. It's a little black spot out. It's going to mess with the symmetry. The milky spot's right in there. I've got to get him out. There we go, that's that one. I'll come back when we get to the next pad. Alright, onto the black pad. This will be the 280 grit. I'm just going to give it a light, take out the opacity marks and round out things a little bit. But not too much. And this one is still a bit aggressive. To do on that one. Just making sure the heavy marks are out from the last wheel. It's a really nice stone, that one. There we go. You can see some lines in it. I thought on the surface, but I think they're on the bottom. Maybe I didn't get it tightened up enough or something, I'm not sure. Or are there potch lines running through it? They kind of look like potch lines running through it to an extent. I'm willing to take the blame if it's at the bottom. That's not on the top anyway, so that's a good 1200 finish. Alright, final pad before the cerium, 3000 grit. There it is at the bottom, go throughout the stone, one or the other. See it from the side, it looks up high. Feature. Alright, so now we're going to do the back, and it needs to be thinned down a bit, but I'm going to get an angle on it, and it needs to come in a touch like that, but not as much. And I'm going to watch the line as I start on this corner edge, creep down, get close to that black line, and I'll decide about a millimetre away to stop. I've got to keep that a millimetre all the way around that, at the same angle as well, for a setting edge. So there's one setting edge on the bottom where the stone sits in the setting, and the other one, I call it, at the top here is where the feathers are, what we call it. It's where they'll curve over. So I start in a bit of an angle. I've got a fixed position, sort of 45-degree angle here, instead of flat. It's not straight up and down. It's on a 45. So you'll see this view a fair bit. I'll start turning around and around, just wear that line, as I said, down. This is the line I'm watching. See that angle, 45. Around about there. I'm going to thin this bit down to match. Do this evenly and make sure the stone, this line across here is easy, being very straight to get a nice 90-degree on it. And then I just point it flat straight up, pointed at the wheel on a flat face, and it will just wear evenly. But I do turn it just to move the grit marks around. I reckon maybe a little bit less. About there. So the next set of wheels are going to do the next job. There's not much more I need to do on this wheel. So on to the next. Okay, here's what we've ended up with. I'll start up this end. There you go, Dad. It's turned out a beaut. Absolutely gorgeous. Specimen, or I probably could set it into a pendant with an odd shape setting. But yeah, beautiful. So that's that one. This one got cut down into an oval. They got their sides all finished nicely. Decent polish on the back. Those will make them presentable. As limited as the value is going to be on them, the may as well be desirable. Feel like I'm slurring my words, but desirable. And then there's this one. This one on camera. Oh, there we go. It's not showing up in the full flood that you can see in person, unfortunately. But it's got some little bit of colour in it. Again, sides are nicely and evenly finished up. It'll sit very straight in the setting. Not too much back, but just enough to make it a stone. Fingerprint's getting everywhere. Nice flash there. Oh, look at that blue. Well, I just really noticed that. Must be the angle. Anyway, next along, Ken. They may not have turned out the best, but they turned out. It's a nice oval shape. It's got a bit of colour in it. It's very directional, very cloudy. But when it lights up, it's got some nice colour. Again, well finished, ready to be set. Even the back's got a little bit of colour. Here's some nice potch for the back, since I couldn't find black. Same again with this one. Cloudy, the colour is there. Nice flashes now and then, but directional and smoky. So, hope you like them, Ken. Now this one turned out very dark. I'm not sure if the colour's going to come up. It's very hard to see even in person. There we go. Nice little cushion cut. Still got a bit of touch of sand there that'll get hidden by the bezel. Ready for setting. And Tim, these didn't turn out too bad, mate. This one, it's not super amount of colour in brightness, but it's got colour all through it, and some wisp of potch, smoky potch through it. Bit of colour poking out from in amongst it. And here we'll go this one next. No, this one. These next four are quite nice actually. So this one turned out, let's zoom in a bit more. It's small. Absolutely full of colour. Orange and green, and a bit of blue purple in amongst it. Stunning stone. Shame it is a doublet, but well worth salvaging from a discard pile or a trinkets jar. So there we go. And this one's full of colour too. Absolutely just jumping out all angles. Not a moment of dullness with this one. Stunning. And I like this one. I think it's a trillion cut. Some really nice red in there. Absolutely gorgeous little flash. And the star of the show that we followed mostly. This one turned out really nice. Absolutely dancing with colour. And so I think the highlight of what I was trying to point out with these doublets was maximising the appeal. You're not really increasing the value more than what it would have been as the carat price of the colour dictates. What you've done is made it more desirable, ready to set. Someone can just go ahead. It's great shape. It'll suit anything, sort of thing. Even with these, that one's absolutely stunning. Did I skip that one? Let's have another look at it. So this one turned out absolutely really gorgeous. No, I did skip this one. Sorry. So yeah, Ken, here's your stunner in your pile. I think I really skipped straight over. I don't know why. You're all probably watching this going, he finally got back to it. I was wondering about that one. But yeah, this one's really nice. So I really hope you like that one, Ken. In the back, it's got a nice bit of colour in it too. There you go. It's a bit of colour through some potch I had. Who knows, I could have cut a stone out of it. Yeah, well, makes for an interesting doublet. Well worth the value. So yeah, cutting and maximising the appeal for a sale, if you're selling stones, it's probably key to get it as really well cut as you can. And that way someone will really want to say, yep, that's the one, I can set that. I can do something with that. Otherwise, yeah, things like this, or, you know, it's a bit exaggerated, but low sides, undulating, setting edge, it's not good because the bezel would thicken up here, then go thin down here and up and down. And for nice, neat jewellery, that's not what they're after when they want to make ovals. Fit. So yeah, I hope this helps with how to maximize your value, cutting shapes at least, even if they're not ovals. And the desirability is there. They'll quickly sell, or quicker than they would otherwise. People will give them a second look. And yeah, for me, when it comes to odd shapes, I do my own work. And so it doesn't matter what I've done to it. Even if I've made a mistake in cutting, if I can correct it, I will. Odd shapes are more my thing, carving as well, as far as my taste, I should say. And don't forget, some of this opal, not these bits there for people, but I keep some of what I do. I like it too. So we've got the two solids we'll get to here. Zoom in a bit more. So it's got a bit of colour in it. It's a bit milky, but definitely worth cutting. And again, being such a small piece, cutting it in an oval makes it more desirable, even if it is tiny. So, a bit of colour in the back as well. We got this out of this one. So there. I hope I didn't ramble on too much during this video trying to explain that, but well done Riley for doing that video too, because that will explain to a lot of people for years to come. Put them on the right track of starting out, especially with a lower grade material. It needs to be a desirable cut. Of course, when you got colour that stands by itself, you could almost do whatever you want with it, and it's, you know, it's great. I.e. carving is in. And I don't think it loses value. So decent carvings, mine, I will probably price them slightly higher because of the effort gone in to get a really good finish on them, not scratches all over the place. And therefore, you can't really put a high price on it, I suppose. And you just envision what you can get out of it and price it that way. But for me, my carvings, they're never to be, well, I don't intend them to be really cut down again. So, yeah, there's a lot of effort gone into them, and the reward needs to be met. And if I have to wait for a higher price, then so be it. Or I keep it, because it's like, well, it's what I like. Sometimes it counts, and if I'm going to part with some stuff, I just hope other people like what I like and what I've done. But just to demonstrate, there you go. Cut nice shapes, get a lot of business. Or learn to set your own stones, and maybe then you'll also come to the realization of why you may want to tidy up your cuts a bit more, even for yourself, knowing what to expect and what to cope with when setting. So yeah, I hope this helps somewhat and doesn't confuse too much more the subject. But there we go. I'll put some low light in a sec. Stick around. Well, see you next video. Cheers.